Could well be working to their favour, but we'll find out whether or not it will here on the first map. Of course, to remind you that Malta is brought to you by Gaming Malta or Home of Gaming Excellence. The way I want to ask you a few predictions in this one. It's going to be a tough act to call because we've only seen so much between these two teams. We've seen very different sides coming out in very different matches. So what's your pick? How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, look, I'm actually going to go with the Danes, and the reason for that is I was very impressed with them in the best of one, in the best of three. They were able to put up a really great performance, and I certainly think they're on a bit of a high at the moment. They've been playing Counter-Strike today beautifully, certainly a lot better than they have done in the past couple of weeks, so you've got to think for them, they've got some momentum, they're feeling confident, they're feeling positive, and this could be the perfect opportunity against PACT to try and see if they can make it into the playoffs.
2.06 on the odds against the LYNGBY Vikings. Of course, expected. They still are looking to make their first playoff run here on the T-side start. Of course, if you do want to get involved in multiple, the best way to do so is bet on Loot Bet. And LYNGBY Vikings make their way quickly into the B bomb site. 2 picks coming in against the defensive, a 2-for-1 trade, all in all favourable to this T side. Now the Vikings squad are just going to sit back passive and wait. Lunatic will come to them, get that kill, get the kill on Maniz in the back line, and this is looking real confident from the Danes.
And it's just an instant response. We saw Sobel getting aggressive towards the B stairs. He finds an opening pick, tries to fall back, and the Glocks just continue. The presence just is so fast up to that B bomb side. They get some great opening kills. They get some great entries to the side, and they just lock it down completely. Only a single player goes down. And, well, for the T side, this is their map pick, but they're starting things off looking very comfortable.
Yeah, very confident as well. You know, the very quick players coming in, quick shutdowns, a couple of good picks for the CT favor to start things off, but it was LYNGBY Vikings that just quickly got control. The MAC-10's in with the AKs on 2 and the force buyback from PACT. The Eagles, the Zeus, in fact, from Darko. As the Vikings slowly make their way into the ramp control. We've got Molotovs down from Bird from Sky. Darko holding with the Deagle, trying to smell damage here. I think with a face out towards the alley position. Nades in, try and force him back. He's already vacated that angle. And he's going to be basically the solo holder here for this A bomb site. Just back over to the orange boxes, waiting for teammates to go ahead and rotate towards him. And a minute and 15 to this hit here. Time is a ticking for the T side, and the Vikings just continuing to play out their defaults.
They're getting a lot of map control at the moment, just seeing where they can get a little bit of information, where they can start to squeeze in an opening pick. And even after taking ramp control, it actually looks like they want to try and hit this B bomb site, and that would actually be a pretty good read because there's only Goofy here to try and defend, and he's only got a Deagle. Sobel's going to be quick on the rotation out through mid, but it's only one defender.
And Deagle standing by, shoulder baiting, trying to look for an opener here. Nade on, that's a bit of damage. The Deagle will do even more to Bird from Sky. They've got to wait for his teammates to back him up here. You've got Goofy and Sobel on site. Maniz and Co are going to go ahead and join them. Twinks make his way up. Great nade from Lunatic. Carries on 7 HP. Twinks will get 2 picks back on the boost up though. And Maniz close to AC gets himself 2 picks on for a third. Up against the last man of Typos and a 1 versus 2 now. 2 players peeking close to Lunatic is dealt with. And Darko out here also going to get sprayed down. So the MAC-10s do the damage, build up the economy, but only one gets away alive for the T side.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, that was looking pretty scary there for the Levi... God, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just late, Jay. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
LYNGBY Vikings.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just a bit of a tongue twister. But no, look, honestly, that round right there, they set themselves up really nicely on the T side. They opened themselves up. They only had a single defender, but for PACT, they were just playing around those smokes and were getting a lot of damage from those upgraded pistols. But the force buy, it doesn't work out for them.
And the Eco's got to come through with a nade stack set from the PACT side. Nades setting up and trying to look onto position. Bird from Sky will burst through. MAC-10 facing USP tapping. Nade coming up to do some damage to both. Tags Bird from Sky down pretty low to 8 HP, but he stays alive, and even then it's a MAC-10 to be lost, so they're not too worried about this. No, actually, no, they might be a bit more worried. Lack of money on this T side, so they need to keep as many players in play as possible.
Yeah, they certainly need to make sure that they're defending that low HP player. making their way as a unit up to the A bomb site. They will be dealt with a bit of a stack. Now, there's actually quite a lot of HGs here, so they can try and see if they can deny the bomb plant from going down.
Nades at the ready. Bomb plant here on default. This could get ugly. No, out towards the right position. Nades on against him. Do their damage. Taps up. Nade and now he goes down. So man advantage gain for the Pistols on the retake. Bird from Sky is very low. Typos can also go falling pretty quickly. Rolls will take that Maniz though for a 4 versus 4 now. A 1-for-1 trade, and the USPs continue pushing slowly but surely around the corner. Ding down on Cabby, and now he's going to be low and everything. LYNGBY Vikings could lose quite a lot out of this, but Cabby sprays through on 2, gets them down. Lunatic finds 1 kill, rolls, gets Lunatic back. It's all to Darko here. The USP standing by. They are going to be quite aggressive onto this bomb site, so the USP could still steal a frag away. Facing him, no. Rolls drops him for his 3k, and for a 3rd round for LYNGBY Vikings.
A little bit of an expensive round. They lose a couple of players, considering there wasn't too much of an investment coming out from PACT. So the CT side can be relatively happy with the damage that they were able to achieve. And straight away, getting that AWP out for Maniz, seeing if he can maybe work over towards that A bomb site, get him maybe an aggressive sight line in towards ramp, and take control. Because for the most part, the T's have been able to take map control relatively easily, whether it's been over towards the ramp control or over towards the B stairs. They've been forcing PACT back into some very passive positions quite deep into the bomb sites.
Quite far forward from PACT for the moment. You can see the aggressive faces coming in the A ramp position, and these are going to get that first pick on Twinks to start things off here. Warp on the M4 of him and Darko. Man found against him. Cabby taking damage from nades. They trying to establish the mid control. Split in towards the B site seems to be the play if the smokes are set up. They are covered off against the CTs, but there's still 3 on B site to deal with.
This is a great setup coming out from PACT, and they should be able to shut down this split into B relatively easily. They're actually going to put the MAC-10 quite aggressive into the split to A, but it's going to, or at least should be, the continuation to B. Sobel, he's got so much to do with the defensive hold, and he's able to get 1 kill. Can he follow up? He can't. It's Maniz, the last one left, and he's on such a long rotation from A.
Yeah, Rolls and Typos here. They have got a bit of a HP situation, so it could be a chance, but the USP is going to come out here. No AWP. Retake here, even though Maniz probably could be more confident with it. They could do a lot more damage. Needs to find one of those rifles ideally, and it will just, nothing's going to be there for him. So he looks to save his AWP as LYNGBY Vikings get themselves a 4th. The T side start is looking good, and I'm not too surprised at that. I'm not too shocked that that's what we're going to see here from the T side of things. PACT obviously working against the momentum shift from the Danes. Working against the team that beat them a little bit earlier on today. So for them to continue the phase, continue the results, means that PACT might have their confidence rocked a little bit.
Yeah, certainly. It could be something in the back of their mind. And you've got to think for the PACT side, I mean, for Vertigo, I mean, at least in the games that we've probably covered over the course of maybe the back end of last year and for most of 2020, you know, Polish teams have been able to put up some pretty decent results on Vertigo. Now, the last couple of months haven't been great for PACT on this map, but it's still a map that, at least over the course of 2020, they've played quite a lot. They've been able to get some successful results here and there. And they just need to start. They need to get around on the board, get that momentum going, and Maniz, well, he trades out the orbs, but unfortunately, they really want to try and keep that orb in play.
Might have to here. Nades in, CZs from Darko around the corner, try to look for a pick. Incendiary's come back and he grabs that orb, gets out of dodge now, so that slow push in. Now falling back out. Maniz doing his work with the AWP, and now Darko will try to look for a similar sort of stance now on Ali. Molotovs and nades against him. He still takes face, but now we'll get forced out position. The T's are still playing their default, and the AWP is still here on site. Smokes down, utility set here from the LYNGBY Vikings. The flash is in. Good leg shot on Typos. Manages to tag him very, very low. P250 could be on for a shot, but the smoke blooms, therefore they can't see into the cross. Bomb down for real. And now he goes dropping towards Sobel. So Pistols are gaining a man advantage here on the retake.
Things are actually looking really good for the PACT side. They're setting themselves up for a smoke out to Ali to try and siphon off that area of the map and try and get their way into this bomb side. Now, they've got the man advantage and they've still got a fair bit of utility to use. Another smoke going down, this time on top of the bomb. For LYNGBY Vikings, this is going to be a really difficult hold. The best thing going for them at the moment is the time.
The kit player dropping, tap up from Soul will pick that kit back up as Darko goes down. Knives on, Typos gets the headshots. And LYNGBY Vikings will get themselves 5 on the T side board as PACT now look for their buy. The AWP for Minis, the M4s on 2. I think Goofy and Sobel should also be investing. Indeed they do. So utility out to play for here. Max loss bonus buy. Let's see if PACT can score there first.
And I'd like to see a little bit more aggression coming out from PACT. We've really only seen the only aggression from them is towards that top of ramp control, but not even getting further down deep, trying to force the T side to look elsewhere on the map of getting some control. But the T's, they're not even worried about ramp at this point. It's going to be the quick split into B, but what a shutdown coming off in the back.
2 picks, 3 picks, 4 picks found by the CT side. Sobel with 3 of them. And Twink's last player on a 1 versus 5, the AWP. Checking out position, shot not quite connecting, nade down. Ducked down with the flashbangs going over with the nades also to come in, try and do some damage. I mean, PACT know roughly where he is, and they know where he can, what his options are. Got the bomb. He could rotate to the A bomb site here, but they've not heard those footsteps. They're not hearing him run away. And now at this point, Twinks has got to fall off, so they will hear him drop off the ladder. Or drop off the boost spot. The Minis also downstairs. The AWP will hear it. The information is going to get called. And he's just going to try and shut him down from here. There's no way left for Twinks to go.
Oh, what a perfect response coming out from PACT. And it certainly seems, Jay, that we're getting this common trait from the Danes where they're finding a lot of success where, you know, they're being relatively slow, they're, you know, working on the defaults, and then out of nowhere they just hit a quick execution. They go fast out through the mid to B. They've got a couple of players towards the B stairs to try and establish the split. And it always seems that when they go for these change-ups, where they go for something extremely aggressive, they just get shut down for it.
First on the board for PACT at least. Something going the way of the CT side, which is exactly what we want to be seeing from them. Twinks are just going to try to hold him to the AWP, but now they know where he is. They're going to hunt him. If they take him down after time, this could be disastrous, but I don't think they'll get to him in time. So there it is. A first for PACT. Very little damage being done here, and the AKs will get picked up by Goofy and Darko. So extra firepower to work with up against the LYNGBY Vikings. I think the buy is going to look awkward as well for the T side. The money's just not quite there.
Yeah, it's certainly not fantastic. Considering the fact that they went 5-0 up, you'd certainly think that there was more money to work with in the reserve, but the CTs have done a lot of damage in terms of the economy over the last few rounds. Run boost does come out to the B stairs, but Goofy is actually the one to find the opener. And normally it's the T side that find the opening kill with that run boost. It goes the other way.
Cabby to fall. LYNGBY Vikings. Or maybe next up, nade onto his position. Twinks gets out of play, gets out of the danger zone because he was definitely up to get killed off. Bird from Sky does find a secondary kill back over to the response. A 4-on-4 now as the B site play continues up from the Vikings side. Smokes down, the M4 standing here at right. Molotov and Rolls. Tries to force the players out here. There's time ticking and still a chance bought by the Vikings side. Bird from Sky is desperately looking for Sobel out here. Giving up his position, but Sobel pushes forward to full hazard. Just waits for the man, sees his head, can't get the kill.
If he extends any further, he's going to realize that they've rotated outside of that B stairs position. And it seems like even for PACT, they've got a bit of a gut feeling. They're now starting to spread out a little bit more rather than playing quite together at that B bomb site. Oh, the sandbags. Do they check it? They've only got a single molly, and it's not going to be used to the sandbags position.
This is going to be perfect right now from Darko. He's waiting and baiting, and the AWP is going to be there to support. So long as they can draw their attention away from sandbags, it's going to be the perfect chance right now for the T side to fall. 20 seconds. They're going to make their way in from Ali. Twinks with the AWP will be there to support it. Spray through, blind shots. And Darko takes out Twinks, takes out the bomb plant and makes it a 3K. And all left to Rolls in mid. 1-on-4. falling to Sobel. What a play from the back line of the CT side.
And, well, these last couple of rounds, it's almost like PACT have looked at their watch and go, righto, boys, it's getting a bit late now. Let's just try and fire up. And, well, I suppose fire up Hellcase, offering you lovely viewers some fantastic codes to use. You get a 15% refill bonus and a little bit of money in your bank with the codes Malta V and Malta V15. You can check out the great partners of Hellcase. Their links are below the Twitch channel. Man, these last couple of rounds from PACT are looking really dominant.
Indeed they are, and the Vikings are going to try and change that right here. The eco coming out, Goofy will shut down one. Typhus takes out Sobel. Goofy's going to get pressured here. 4 on 3. Nades up, might take down one. No, they gain B-site control. 2 weapons to work with. A bomb plant will not come down. Lunatic dunks perfectly onto rolls. And the spray from Darko gets Cabby, so it's all left to Twinks now. The Glock in against 3 players. Could find Darko on low HP if he takes an aggressive face, but ideally he wants to get a bomb plant to give them a bit of bonus money going into the next round. Losing this one is not so bad. The nades up, Darko drops in for a second one frag, so... There you go, third for the PACT side. And LYNGBY Vikings. Well, again, it was an eco rush, so the fact they're able to get that far with it, it's a pretty good stance.
And certainly, I mean, the nade placement is coming out fantastically for PACT. I mean, Vertigo is one of those maps where you can use the railings over towards the A and B bomb sites to kind of bank off a lot of nades on the city side to try and even, like, deny bomb plants from going through and things like that. And we've certainly seen in terms of utility damage, whether it's been HEs or incendiaries, even 8 rounds into the game, it's been a lot for PACT. And tactical pause coming through. They're missing a player. Moniz is gone. So we'll have to get him back in the server. LYNGBY Vikings, you've got to think now, Jay, this is the opportunity where they go, right, okay, you know, we were 5 rounds up, you know, we got off to a good start. We've let it slip a little bit. We didn't quite get a bomb plant in that last round. They've got to be thinking, what's working for us at the moment? We've been able to get A ramp control relatively easily. We're getting map control relatively easily. So maybe slowing it down, getting a default out across the board, working the picks, working the map control, rather than just, you know, increasing the pacing.
Well, 2 to the lead now for PACT to make up against the Vikings. It's possible. Definitely something I would need to be a possibility here. AKs will be coming back to respond, though, for the Vikings side. Of course, that bomb plot enabling this to come through with full sets of utility and everything. And PACT. An aggressive Darko's going to get the nades up against the T side, but he ends up falling to Bird from Sky, so... Damage done to him and Cabby, though, to return back for the Vikings squad. I mean, they're going to be in a bit of an awkward position. Nades up to continue to try and do damage. Incendiaries to suppress them and just keep the Vikings at bay. 5 on 4, and they actually back off from the A default. Look towards a B hit instead.
Goofy's going to have a really difficult time because he's already really passive at B. So as soon as that utility comes down, it's pretty much just going to be a retake setup. There's no real way that he can kind of fight into this bomb site. A very heavy stack over to A, and Goofy, he's going to be able to call out the information, but it's almost too late.
Nades on the try to suppress him, but he's got to fall back and set up for the retake for PACT. Got players out here looking to get a boost, potentially. A couple of boost opportunities you can take, and Sobel seems to have found one. So the bomb site here will look, but he will not be able to see or do any kills, do any damage to the Viking squad. See Typhus, meanwhile, he's moved up super aggressive. And he's going to be the main defender right here. His teammates are going to play contact off him, and Goofy will shut him down. So 4 on 4 now, but they've wasted a lot of time. Twinks getting Moniz, getting a double up onto Lunatic as well. Sobel finds that trade. It's him and Goofy up. Yeah, 2 on 3. Smoke down onto the bomb. They will stick it. The spray will come through. The man goes down. It's all up to Sobel as well. Backstab in from Cabby. We'll get that final frag and get the 6th to the Vikings.
And all that really comes down to is it's a great fake. They've taken that ramp control, and they actually fight aggression with aggression. They find that opening pick, and they actually force PAC into, you know, gamble stacking that A bomb side and only leaving Goofy at B. And unfortunately for him, he falls back into a retake setup. But for the LYNGBY Vikings, the post plant's just too strong. The time's being ticked. They're establishing the crossfires. And that's going to give them a little bit of momentum to get back into this T side. Even with them at the lead, they've been able to end the streak from PACT.
SMG's aggressing as the mid control from Vikings continues to be established. Mid control a couple of times here. Molotov's trying to establish some of the stack control nades on, doing damage to Bird from Sky. Further smokes on, Sober will just have to fall back. The AWP minis watching to support it. The mid control established by PACT. The damage has been done, but no kills being found.
And not a lot of contact at all. Only a bit of damage being done to the T side. And for PACT, pretty passive at the moment. Like, they've got a player very aggressive of Goofy over towards the B stairs, but over at this A bomb site, they're really playing quite deep. They're allowing the ramp control to come through. And that means for the Danes, they don't even have to use utilities. So they don't have to give away the information that they're going for an A player.
Molotov's doing damage to Lunatic, faces aggressive, and two blind is attached onto Bird from Sky. Needs will get Twinks though. 4-on-4, Darko close range, gets 2 kills and drops that bomb as well. And with so little time to the clock, it looks like the Vikings make a shot out of this round. We're also going to pick in the back line, but the bomb is in Darko control. Got to face, got to hold them off, and they haven't got enough time to get the bomb to the bomb site. Goofy just got to hold face. No, they do get it. Will he swing? Will he deny? Yes, he will! But Cabby just gets the trade, just holds the round down to the last tick for the LYNGBY Vikings.
Oh my goodness, that was milliseconds. That was ticks. That really came down to the wire. You saw the swing coming out to deny that bomb. They're able to do so, but the instant trade from Cabby, a 7-3 up. LYNGBY Vikings putting up one hell of a performance in terms of rounds so far on Vertigo on the T side, and was certainly showing the Vertigo was the right pick for them. Could be going up 8-3. And that's really what they need in this best of 3. Get off to a good start. Put some big rounds up on your map pick, because certainly what we saw from them in that last best of 3 is that all 3 maps were very close. They weren't any convincing scorelines.
Just damage done initially onto Darko, the first player to fall here in this 11th round. Nades up, continuing to look for whatever they can from here. 55 seconds, and slowly but surely the T side will establish their position into the B bomb site. Deagle and Goofy holding back to behind Platt. Molotov will force him out position here into the open and most likely to be killed off by the T side here. Bird from Sky and Cabby getting 2 picks. Goofy and Sobel last 2 players. Sobel finds 1. Goofy actually gets 2 picks. Chance available if he can get a 3rd frag, but he does get overwhelmed, leaving all of the USP of Sobel. So 1-on-3, Vikings will maintain control and claim an 8th for their T side.
Now, if PACT is starting to read the game at the moment of exactly what they're kind of up against for this T side, is a lot of the time we're seeing these mid to B splits, at least in terms of lurkers. Now, with mid having a few changes recently to Vertigo, we haven't really seen a lot of mid to B plays, or at least splits into that B bomb side. But certainly the Danes are doing that quite a lot. They've got a couple of lurkers time in, time out, that when they're hitting the B bomb side, there's always someone to swing out from that construction position. And you got to think for PACT, they're really struggling at the moment to put rounds up on the board, struggling to find opening kills, and as soon as they do, it's an instant trade.
They do come out on top for the PACT side though. 5 HP from Bird from Sky. There's an easy frag that they can find against one of the AKs here. If they can get that all back towards them, that'd be great, but Vikings gonna push that out to the ramp position to challenge Maniz here. Orp v Orp battle. Maniz Taking a bit of a face up, he's getting quite aggressive for it, sees his man and finds his frag. 2-for-1 trade, might try and make it a bit more here. The smoke goes down from Bird. Not seen, flash over, the AWP shot not connecting. He's gonna get forced to fall back.
This looks to be another fake, even showing the ramp presence. They're going to try and make their way over to B, and Goofy's going to be the only defender once again. Oh, and the spam comes through. He was seen, and now it's only a single defender of Sobel. If he goes down, this should be an instant save.
M4 bursting out, Sobel taking fights, gets out Typos, gets out Cabby. It's all left to Bird from Sky, and Sobel gets 3 picks. Beautiful stuff from his defensive, and PACT will continue to hold on to some very strong rounds, even if they are a few rounds behind.
Oh, well, forget Sobel going down. What a hold in towards the back lines of that B bomb site. A great defensive 3-piece. And that's now going to force the T side on what I was thinking is going to be a half buy. But it seems like the economy is in even worse state than that. They're going to have to force. Look at the buy. They've got 2 AKs, an AWP, and 2 upgraded pistols. Not a great amount to work with, but it's the pressure out towards ramp, and it's quick.
Very quick indeed. Darko gets Twinks, opens things up for the PACT side as the LYNGBY Vikings forced to slow things down for a moment here. Control out into the mid face, and of course the ramp control coming out. The flashbangs in, and they catch off Minis for a Deagle pick. Orb dropped. M4 next to face. Darko couldn't line up his kill. Now going to be suppressed into a corner here. Wallbang's coming in against him. He's getting tagged up. AWP looking for a frag. So we'll find rolls for 1 good kill, but traded back for the T side. 3-on-3 situation.
Trades going back and forward. Things are actually working out really nicely for the LYNGBY Vikings, considering the buy that they had. And PACT, the gamble stack is here at the A bomb site, so at least there is that much on the defensive hold. And again, it's going to be taking the ramp control and starting to back off. Really running down the clock. This is a very slow round, under 40 seconds. Probably has to be the mid to B split, right? Considering the fact that they're making their way up through mid, you don't normally see those mid to A's, especially with the fact they don't have a lot of utility.
$20 seconds left. The bomb making his way out to mid, looking for an A split, perhaps? Can't quite tell. Solo will catch Typos, take him down. They're going to make their way back out to the AB bomb site instead. Cabby cuts off Goofy and cuts off the CTs, flowing into the site. 2-on-2 now. Smoke down to block them even further. There's only 1 kit on Lunatic. And an incendiary coming out to try and block them from making their way in from the stack area. So just in general, PACT are out of options here. Vikings stalling for time, playing so passive back on their bomb site. They've got no utility left, but the booster can still come through, getting the AK to set up here against the bomb plant position. This is so well thought here from the Vikings. Pop up, got to face in against Lunatic. Sees the head, takes the man, but they're covered off to that position. They hide behind the orange boxes. Sobel taps it again, going to try and force a pick back, but it's going to be Cabby there with a 3K instead for a 9th on the board for the Vikings.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, yeah, look, that boost worked out really nicely and won them the round, but what really won them the round was how great that counter utility was. We saw the Molotov out towards the connector area, then the re-smoke to come down. And what that does for PACT is it wastes time in the 2-on-2. They're dying to get into the side. They really want to retake it as quickly as possible. But that utility, it slows them down and it panics them into trying to make a play. The boost comes up, the 2-on-2 works out, and they're getting closer and closer to double digits in this first half.
The aggression from Minis. Deagle seeing 2 would have flicked to the first head. They know where the second man is. The M4 of Darko can pop out and take him down. So 2-for-1's going the way of the CT camp. And Lunatic there with the SMG out the sandbags area. They will opt to back up a little bit here for PACT. The bomb getting picked up as Bird from Sky tries to find a new way in here. But a 4-on-3 situation, PACT are in full control.
Unfortunately, with them not continuing the aggression, they're not able to hold onto that bomb. Now, with Darko, if he swings out from the top of ramp, he's going to see that that's disappeared and that the T's have picked it up because they're trying to make their way to the B bomb site. When do PACT realize this information? They're starting to at least rotate Sobel over to back up Goofy because he's been alone a lot of these times at B.
Smokes down, Goofy pushing up. SMG close, backed up behind it, and Bird from Sky will take Goofy down. Rolls will also get Sobel to a 3-on-2 situation. This B-side Storm has been fantastic, and Darko, all that remains here. 1-on-3, he's found one good kill, 2 kills all in all to his name, but they are just pretty decently held back and suppressed at this moment here. Smoke potentially going forward. Darko seeing the man, spraying through, doing damage again, but no frags will be found for this guy. He's got the kit, got cover, got Cabby as well. A chance actually available for Darko now. It's named by Vikings. No spray from Bird from Sky. He gets the headshot instead and gets us the double digits on this T side, looking eerily similar to the way things went down earlier for the best of one.
It really is, isn't it? I'm certainly seeing... I don't want to say comparisons because it's a different map, and obviously we've gone the distance with the last couple of best of threes, but it certainly looks as if in terms of momentum it's very similar. I'm finding a lot of success at the moment on this T side, and for PACT just not really showing up at the moment. Only 4 rounds being found on the CT side. They are trying quite aggressively to take this ramp control, and they've actually forced the T side behind this smoke.
And then at Bay, as they kind of have done throughout the course of this one, but PACT always seems to somehow get forced back by some sort of AK or aggressive sort of MAC-10 player that has just decimated them entirely. Flashes in towards me as well, trying to take his place here. He's facing sprays, but doesn't get any kills at the moment. LYNGBY Vikings are, again, suppressed by PACT, waiting for a kill to go their way, but while Maniz will try, he just can't quite land the kill shots.
Again, this just light utility coming out from the T side is forcing PACT to play and quite passive at the A bomb side. Looking to try at least retake it. Darko swinging out from the alley position with a couple of teammates to back him up. Maniz in particular, but with him going down, they don't find any kind of advantage. I suppose they can say that they have got a couple of players low, but Sobel's down on 8 HP for the CTs.
Good kill from Typos. 2 shots, 1 to the head of Darko. 5-on-3 situation. Oh, the smoke's down, and the Vikings gonna push forward. Bird from Sky gets to SMG from Goofy responds, and again the Vikings will be able to force the issue on the A bomb site here. Goofy up for an ace clutch, a 1-on-5 here. He's found his first. Got Cabby up top of the smoke, did not see him. It will start to clear. He hears those footsteps. We know that he's dropped off. Spray through, does damage. 7 HP though. He stays alive and gets the kill to return. 11-4. Another 11-4 half for the LYNGBY Vikings.
Yeah, look, very impressive. You've got to just look at the big picture here and say, wow, you know, PACT have been simply outclassed in that first half of Vertigo. Really didn't see too much momentum going their way. A lot of opening kills, a lot of map control, a lot of territory being found, and even just some of the side defenses were weak, to say the least. And PACT have got to do quite a lot to at least bring this back, because even if they don't win Vertigo, you know, even if it is a pretty simple affair for the Danes, you've got to think that confidence-wise, if they get 16-4, they're going to be like, damn, it's a repeat of the first best of one.
Look at that run boost. Okay, Goofy. That's a good way in. For the pistol round for the PACT side. Cabby will respond. Lunatic will trade. 4-on-3 situation. Nades up. Might do some damage. To, most certainly will not get a kill on the bomb planter here. Placed up against Darko. He tanks one to the back. Typos tap in, getting a headshot. Seeing Darko as well. 21 HP. Retake on for the CTs in a 3v3. But look at Sobel in the back. Headshots easy as that. And Rolls no idea that Maniz is here. He's going for a knife. He goes for the 2 left clicks. And PACT get a nice bit of bonus cash going out of the pistol. And a victory on the T side.
And we've seen a couple of knives coming out today. This is our second one on the A stream, and you know, yes, it's a little bit of BM, but it's about the money. You get an extra $1,500 of the kill bonus, and Maniz, well, that seemed pretty easy there. A great round coming out from PACT, and it all really came off aggression. Look at the amount of AKs that are up. They've got 4 AKs. You know, screw the MAC-10s. Don't even worry about the SMGs. Let's just get the rifles out.
Forced back from the Vikings as well. They want to try and put the hurt back onto this T-side cam, get revenge for what they did so far in that pistol. A very impressive one with the run boost and everything. But they are just going to get picked apart here. First frag found on Rolls, but from Sky on 5 HP. See Soble trying to challenge this man in the mid position, but can't quite get the kill. Not in this case, at least. Control out and simple stuff. And the plays out from the T side will establish just the map control and the man advantage here. There's nothing that LYNGBY Vikings can really do to change that.
It's just a gamble stack, and they realize the fact we've lost the opening man advantage. We've got a player quite low. Let's just try and stack up this B bomb side. Oh, no one actually checks the boost. That actually turns it back into a 4-on-4, and Cabby gets a lot of information.
Breakthrough, kill comes back. Maniz trades onto the man, 3-on-3 situation. Oh. Deagle doing a ton of damage, but not getting the kill. Still got Bird from Sky backline. Twings gets a good shot for the scout. Was that a wallbang? Did he see the man? I'm not sure how he got that frag, but either way, 3-on-2 situation. Smoke out to the cross at the first position. So we're making his way up. Bird from Sky just waiting to deny the bomb plant. If he can get that bomb plant denied, it would be good enough. Twinks no scopes his way on. Blind through the smoke. Darko, no idea there's a player behind him. And Bird from Sky will close out the round. A beautiful hold there from the LYNGBY Vikings as they respond to PACT's opening round.
Oh, you feel for PACT. You really do. They get off to a flying start. Oh my goodness, what are those odds? Finally, they're favorites. Finally, Loot Better said, all right, boys, yeah, no, we'll put you as the favorites. They seem to be changing a little bit here, but 8.4 up for the PACT side. Those are some big numbers. And, well, for PACT, you can understand why. They're certainly in a big disadvantage, especially after losing that last round.
Oh, look at Darko. Look at his position. He's been seen by Rolls. Timing for the T-side start not going to come through for them. Close but no cigar. PACT. Can't find a return at this moment. Smokes down, Darko. Jesus Christ, that smoke bounced a number of times before it finally started to bloom, but nades on, Darko forced out. Trying to get a peek in, trying to get something done here. He'll try for wall bangs, but nothing's going PACT's way here.
And nothing at all. They're just trying to see if they can find a cheeky kill, something, just to allow an opportunity to go forward. And, well, that's Maniz finding a Deagle kill over at this ramp position. That's now an opportunity for the Vikings to have a bit of a gamble stack. This position from Sobel, he could win out the round from this. If they pull the attention away from the B stairs, he can start to lurk his way in through construction.
He's pushing in, Sobel gets a pick in mid, 5-on-3. Suddenly this is looking pretty good for the T side. He can't get the player back over at quad. M4 of Cabby now, known entity takes out one. Typos comes in to deal with Sobel as Lunatic gets Cabby down. Incendiary into the bomb site, going to try and deny the bomb plant, and it will be temporarily successful. M4, sorry, from our swing out, I should say, on Darko will tag him for 25 HP. The PD really still stabbing, but Lunatic goes down. Darko low as Manish with the find his backstab. He's just coming up to the stack position, takes out Rolls, and Typos falls to Darko, just getting his 1 dig in and just securing the round here for PACT.
And back and forward with 4 spies we go once again, because, you know, it's the Malta vibes. That's how we roll here. We go force after force after force. And for PACT, they're just holding in at the moment. They really... This could be the chance for them to continue a comeback, but you've got to think at a 6-round deficit, every single round is going to be a struggle for them, even going into this force buy. Yes, the buy looks fantastic for the Poles, but we've seen how scary some of these forces can be.
This is sort of thing, but LYNGBY Vikings win one in the second round, so...
Yeah.
Could well be an opportunity here for this squad. Nades on, trying to do damage to Cabby. He'll do so much here. Rolls. Edge of the smoke, seeing Darko connecting that headshot, starting things off, and there's the start of that force buy scenario. Couldn't quite get the next player up. He makes his way in. It's Twinks that gets the SMG frag. 5-on-3. This is working well for LYNGBY.
And it's just going to be another round where we see a forced buy victory. They're actually boosting each other up to see if they can get a little bit of vision over that new wall position. The metal wall across. Oh my goodness, they've dropped that bomb. This round's over. There's no way. There is no way that PACT can bring this back. And Type Boss, it does get a little bit unlucky with the timing. Goofy opens up a kill from Ali. Oh my goodness, they might be able to bring this back, but it's all down to Sobel, 1 on 3. Can't find any more than that. Back and forward with force buys we go once again. And you've got a thing for LYNGBY Vikings, they don't really care if it keeps going back and forward with force buys because they only need 3 more rounds.
And, I mean, are we really surprised? Based on the way they've been playing so far in this map?
Never surprised.
Vikings up against another force buy against PACT, and if they can win this round, they probably win the map here. They at least win map point. Here on their map pick, it does make a little bit of sense, but obviously this far gone scoreline is not exactly an unfamiliarity here for PACT. Work real hard to get themselves under control. Deagle out for Darko, finds one pick, does not see the CT that's pushed up aggressive. Rolls will be called out, gets his on a 2K. From after that, back him up as they drop the bomb one more time. Goofy will respond with 1 blind kill, but he's all alone against 3 hungry CT players, and he can't get the spray transfer to Rolls. He'll back up with the AK, flashbangs to keep Goofy suppressed. They know he's playing towards the A bomb site, they can adjust against this.
1 on 3 coming out from Goofy. The best thing he could hope for is a bomb plant. I mean, he can hope for a round victory, to say the least. But they are starting to swing out from the alley position. The timing's not going to work out. And like you said, they win that round. They probably get to map point. You look at the money and you think, right, there's no way they can force. If they force, I think they're done. You can understand why they would go for the force, considering where we are in terms of rounds. And well, they're going to try and go for it. I probably would have liked to have seen them play for O2. I reckon they've got more of a chance in the rifles than this kind of a round.
Nades on, trying to do some early damage. Nade stacks in particular, trying to take out Bird from Sky, and you can see that force buy you mentioned coming through. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Darko and Cabby takes out 3. On for his 4th, not quite the CZ jump facing, taking him down. The bomb's not picked up on the T side though. They're trying to get Typos next. Incendiary back to try and stop the bomb plant. Goofy back turned. And Rolls will move up at the right timing. Twinks in the back line as well. They're ready for this. Goofy, dead and buried. Maniz, last man standing. Does catch off 1 good pick, but he needs 3 more, or 2 more, I should say, for a 4K overall. Need to do damage and everything. Like the damage placed up by these HGs have been so good for the Vikings here in this round. Maniz does secure a bomb site, does secure a bomb plant. Against the next CT out here, the AK will take face, look around this corner, take out Twinks, and a flashbang in 1v1. 4K for the man! He gets his headshots, and he gets his clutch in to keep PACT and keep LYNGBY Vikings away from the map points.
Okay, well, we see the AWPer of Maniz for the PACT side with the rifle clutching it out. The way he's able to isolate those kills, it just positioned himself fantastically. Finds the first kill over towards the B stairs. Flash goes up, the wide swing comes out. And, well, PACT, they're just holding on. They are just holding on at the moment. A very crucial clutch to come out. And that keeps them in the map. LYNGBY Vikings, though, straight away, the aggression out through mid.
And immediately, LYNGBY Vikings find an opening kill. Are you surprised? I'm not. Deagle blind firing gives up his position, so at least they can find a trade back. Sobel for Rolls. And a 4-on-4. The Vikings start wrapping over, and PACT start making their way on the rotation up to the T-spawn. Look at the aggression actually. This Deagle is going to be seen towards the rafters. The spray through Maniz can't get the pick. Nade in against him. He's still going to hold presence. Smokes down. Deagle out. Can't get a frag. So PACT actually getting the man advantage from the aggression this time.
It's almost like LYNGBY Vikings are playing on T side at the moment. Like they're just so aggressive. They are really getting up close and personal in the face of the guys from PACT. And they're doing it time and time again. They realize, okay, ramp's clear. Let's just stack B.
Flashes over. Smokes, flashes, Molotovs, Typos, somehow in the back line, gets a kill before he drops. Darko close, Deagle up against it, AK picked up. Goofy's going to challenge him, he's on an Act 10, but he still gets the headshot regardless. Famas next up, facing it against the bomb, drops it, one-on-one, HP advantage, range advantage as well, and he gets Goofy. And the Force Spies continue to work for the Vikings, 15-7. Map point on the CT side. 8 rounds for PACT to get to OT.
Now, if you came to watch scrappy Counter-Strike, you know, not clean, not perfect, not beautiful, you came to the right stream. We have seen so many forced by victories. The fact that the CTs push up through ramp, backstab into the B-side players around the B stairs. And that's the map point. That's 15-7 up.
Look at him roll straight in, taking that frag, taking the bomb planter. Against Sobel next up, he's backed up a little bit, takes the second face, and eventually goes down, but Twinks finds the trade. There's one T-side player pretty close to the sandbags. The SMG already knows what that bomb is, though. And Goofy falls, leaving it all to Darko. 1-on-4. Mac 10 spray finds one, no more than that. 16-7 for the LYNGBY Kings. LYNGBY Vikings. Wow, we're making name mistakes. It's late. It's late out here. And I think the Vikings realize that as well. They want to end this series super quick, and that was a pretty impressive map.
Very impressive. It's really great to see that they were able to carry on that momentum in from that previous best of 3 over to Vertigo. And for PACT, yeah, look, we saw a couple of good rounds here or there, but not on a consistent basis. And that's something that I've mentioned time and time again about this PACT side, is it seems like their biggest weakness is consistency. And well, for the Danes, you know, that I don't want to say that was a walk in the park, because it wasn't like it was a slaughter, but it certainly felt so much more comfortable on that map than any of the 3 did in their last best of 3.
Yes, and the Vikings certainly going to take another good map above the likes of PACT squad, and you know, it's just like that whole circumstance right there. Like you take a look at how they performed on that kind of a map, and yeah, it is their opponent's map pick, but contrast it to how well they performed earlier on in the best of 1, and it's like, well,
yes,
time to be a little bit concerned if you're PACT. It looks like they're replicating some pretty good results here.
Yeah, look, they certainly are, and I certainly think that the next couple of maps in the series, if we go to even a 3rd map of Nuke, we could certainly be on for a very interesting series. We saw it being one-sided in that first map. I don't know if it will quite be the same going forward into Overpass, but I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. We are going to go to a short little break. Overpass will be the next map in this series, and it is PAC's map pick, so don't go anywhere.
Nice shot. Lock and load. Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo, damn! What's up, into?
Welcome back to Malta Vibes. Welcome back to our series between the LYNGBY Kings and PACT. Of course, if you're just joining us, you missed out on Vertigo, which was a 16-7 victory for the Vikings. I keep calling them Kings. I do apologize for that. I'm just being a stupid idiot. And our second map is going to be Overpass between these two teams. PACT picking that one and hopefully going to try and replicate a separate performance by comparison to what the Vikings were able to do over in the first map. But it is ringing true, another one-sided win for the Danes. They were able to win their best of one a little bit earlier on against PACT and look to potentially 2-0 the polls out of the group stage.
Look, absolutely. And one thing that I'm certainly thinking about is that for the Danes, they've only got one map on record for Overpass, and it wasn't the best. It was a 6-16 loss against Endpoint about a month ago. So there's that to it, you know, in terms of the statistics and things like that. But what I've noticed about these Danes is you can almost never put statistics in these matchups because they just surprise every single time. And you've got to think, over the course of today, we've seen very slow methodical T-sides. We've seen them taking map control with lurking. What is the best map for that kind of a style of play? A map like Overpass.
Exactly, and even though it is obviously a map that we haven't seen many good performances from the Vikings on in the past, it is also a map that we've only seen one time played ever, one time in the last 3 months. That was against Endpoint as well, who, you know, I wouldn't put PACT to be up there in that particular respect. They do, however, have a number of good victories over on the Polish squad. You know, it is a map that they play, you know, particularly often. They play it really well as well. You know, so for them, like, you're taking a look at this map and you're thinking to yourself that, hey, there might be a good chance for a third map in this one.
Yes, certainly. And I think, look, jumping into the knife round, the third map you would say has certainly got to be on the cards. But if the Danes can put up any kind of a performance like we saw in that first map of Vertigo, there's certainly a chance there for a 2-0 victory. Absolutely,
and I think, you know, it would be silly to count them out as for a 2-0 victory here for this one, just based on the play start and how things could potentially work out between these two teams. I think a CT start might be necessary, however, for the Vikings. We'll find out how necessary it will be as we, of course, remind you that Malta Vibes is brought to you by Gaming Malta, our home of gaming excellence. And we do see the knife round go the way of the... it does say Vikings over on the board, but it's actually the PACT squad that just won that one, so they'll be off on the CT start. What are we hoping to see from this map, Dwayne? How do you think this is going to work out? What are the win conditions you think for PACT to take us to a third map?
Look, for them, they just need to play their own game. They need to get the AWP in the hands of Maniz. They need to play with a lot of confidence. They certainly weren't able to get a lot of momentum in that last map of Vertigo. So for them, they need to get off to a good start on CT. Get those rounds piling up. Get 9+ rounds on CT. Get a little bit of confidence. Go into that second half feeling revived. And well, you look at those odds, and they certainly are the favorites going into this second map. Now, if you do want to get involved in some betting on these Malta Vibes, go ahead, check out LootBet. Their links are down below underneath the Twitch channel. This could be a quick play into the B bomb site, especially from the get-go, considering that they're really not looking for any A presence.
Contact plays and something coming out here to the short position. Good shot from Maniz, catching the first kill. Typos responds, but Maniz doubles up all in all to the bomb site here, flinging around the corner for a third pick. Landing some tags, not getting the headshot. Darker gets a pick back instead. Sobel falls, and then Maniz rounds the corner. Goofy gets the second kill on Twinks, therefore triple kill for the man of the B side defensive, and PACT clearing the pistol round.
Oh, that looked pretty simple coming out from PACT, and all it really comes down to is repositioning from Maniz around that pillar position, just being an absolute nuisance, finding 3 incredible kills. The rotates come in incredibly quickly, and for the Danes, well, they don't get a bomb plant, they don't get too many kills, but what they do get is a force buy going into round number 2. Look at the amount of MAC 10s, 4 up for the T side, and what looks to be just a pistol up for Twinks.
There's MAC 10s in for them on the force buy situation, and the Vikings have been able to win rounds like this before. Remember, they've, you know, had pistols out, so they were able to make things work. Case in point, 1-for-1 trade. Darker able to get carried. The Lunatic falls in trade. Darker going down eventually as Sobel loses his fight to the MAC 10. Are we surprised? No, we're not. 1 kill goes for Maniz. That drops the bomb for the moment. There's no one else on the bomb site as well. They all pushed out water. The smoke up does not cover the player crossing past sandbags. So 2-on-2. PACT may have brought this back.
things were looking really great for the Danes, but now, well, they're going to boost a player up into heaven, but you've got to think, are they... Okay, they actually faked that they boosted a player up towards heaven. They're just playing some mind games. And look at Maniz. He's now thinking about someone's boosted up.
We'll get the heaven control in the end as he realizes nobody is there, but they will not have the range game against the M4. It comes at the timing. Double dink down from Rolls. He gets his kill. Goofy next up to face. He sees the man low HP. Headshot angles being taken. They need to get someone to the bomb site, get a bomb plant eventually. As Goofy gets that pick, the MAC 10 faces in, and Goofy gets a double. So not to be in the end. A bit over aggressive there for the Vikings. They could have secured a bomb plant and then just play passive from there and force the M4s to get up close and personal, but getting out towards water, and again, leaving an awkward smoke and a gap there to the cross and a gap to the bomb plant to be denied. Couple of issues being held on that T side, but a very good force play around nonetheless.
And not often do you see a force back coming out for the T side after forcing in the last and losing it, and it's the fact that they put it so close, they take a lot of damage to that CT economy. It will still be 4 M4s up for the PACT side. And a bit overzealous coming out from the T side in the last round. A bit advantageous, getting very aggressive. But talking about aggression, look how much connector control is coming out for PACT.
Oh, 2 good picks coming in for Goofy and Maniz. The bomb's been dropped out towards the top of the T-con area. Twinks takes out Maniz for a frag, and they need to get these kills very quickly in for the rifles out. They do have A site control. They just need to get Twinks up to that position. The long play is the most safest play, even though it will take a long time. Pushes coming through again from Rolls to try and cut off some of the CTs from position here. M4 facing for Lunatic. E goes down. Knows that a player in bank, but can't quite find the man just yet. Goofy coming forward with a nade up 3-on-2 situation. LYNGBY Vikings do get a player back to an even standing now. All I have to do is get a bomb plant and secure the retake.
This is very doable, 2-on-2. It all just comes down to timing. Unfortunately, the bomb planted towards our default position is going to have a really difficult time of escaping. So Twinks is just going to try and hold this position, play quite passive, and will help get some teammate assistance. Darko now the last one left, flashbang coming up, and this is going to be really difficult for him. Does turn it into a one-on-one, but the time is running low. He does have a kit to work with, but he's got no idea where Rails is. He knows he must be around this bathroom's position, and he's getting baited out. The jiggle peek's coming through. Darko, is he just going to try and stick it? I think he is. The bomb's just being stuck. The pick needs to come out. And finally, we're going to see the T side finding a victory.
And there you go. Vikings with a start out in this one. After getting so close on their force by round. And the damage being done on that force by round, actually, it does mean the economy is going to be limited for PACT. So while they do lose in the short term, the long game is going to work better for the Danish side. Pistols out on a force up from PACT. No choice but to go with the Deagles here because, I mean, they haven't got enough money for a rifle. In the next one, it'll be double eco status thanks to the loss bonus being lost. And the AKs with the MAC 10s in. Lack of head Kevlar means that these SMGs could very easily clean up a number of kills against the CT line. Case in point right there, Goofy falling to Bird from Sky, a 5-on-4 situation, and the Ts can make their way into the A-bomb site, and not quite uncontested. They have got a couple of CTs here in mid and flank.
And he's just seeing if he can find something with his Deagle, but he's going to get forced back to regroup at a bit of a passive holdover at A. Bit of a gamble stack actually coming through for the PACT side, stacking 3 players up and maybe thinking about rotating a 4th over from B. Maniz aggressive out through long, does find one, but the instant trade coming through, and it all just comes down to the numbers game from here.
Four on 3, making their way up. Deagle closes Sobel, gets Cabby for a good frag. AK can get recovered as well. Can't pick it up from his position. Sobel round the corner, spray through. Seeing the second man also at truck. Rolls is going to try catch him on the left-hand peak. The MAC 10 moving forward against him, going to try and farm up some cash. He gets that kill, and Rolls will get Lunatic next up. So 3 players do drop. Damage has been done. But 2 all on the board here, and PACT can't punish on their follow-up.
Unfortunately not, and they're in a bit of a weird state in terms of the economy where they don't have enough money to go for a buy, so it's going to be a very light eco. I would even be surprised if we see some P250s up because there isn't a lot of money to work with. Certainly not enough money to go for the AWP investment into the following round. So unfortunately for Maniz, he's not going to be able to get that going through. And 2,400 up for PACT into the following round. So it will be M4s across the board and 5 USPs. Mac 10 from Bird from Sky, he could seriously get some damage, but they've already walked out on B. They go, hang on a minute, the stack's not here, let's just get a bomb plant.
Yep. Why bother?
Easy. Yep, why not?
Fend off the USPs coming through. See if you can put that Mac 10 in the right place at the right time and take down as much money as you can. Smoke up and everything to hold back. Actually, can we take that face in? See a lot of CT forces and just be like, nope. Take a pick, fall back, get back up. Twinks, rolls, kills. And sadly, no Mac 10 frags, it seems, for the T side, but can be dealing with it pretty well. 3 picks for his name. And a third on the board for the Vikings. So they're taking the lead again against PACT on their T-side start. Now the Rifles got to come in to respond.
Putting the pressure on early. Only a single kit coming up for Lunatic on that CT side. And you've got to think for PACT, they got off to a good start. They were able to win the pistol, win the anti-eco, but from there it's been 3 rounds in a row now for the Danes. And for the Poles, this is the opportunity straight away. Get some momentum, take control, whether it's off the back of aggression or it's off the back of an opening pick. They need some sort of advantage to work going forward. And to start things off, look at the stack over at this B bomb site. There's 4 players here. And for the Danes, well, they've just got quick connector control into this bathrooms area.
Goofy and Bird from Sky trading back and forth. The Mac 10 fight of that pick is already pretty impressive for the Vikings squad, a 4-on-4 situation. And with that early aggression, the Vikings go back to their sort of like staggered sort of pacing. A fake out to the A bomb site, playing back passer to rotate towards B. Very similar to how they played on Train earlier today against the Illuminar side. With their aggressive face, their slow default as they made their way towards Old Hell, finding the opening kill. Leaving one lurker back here, and we could be seeing a couple of good picks from Bird from Sky. Indeed, he gets the kill on the knees. But now the baited aggression should indicate what's really going on here. You've got Darko seeing them come out, execution out to the M4. Sobel finding that pick, but they can't keep the man advantage for long. 3-on-2, bomb plant secured, retake for Lunatic and Sobel.
This is going to be a really tough one coming out from PACT. They've only got a very light amount of utility to work with. A single smoke and a couple of flashbangs. And the Vikings, well, all they need to do, just hide. They don't need to peek on this. They've got the advantage. They've got the clock on their favor. They just need to make sure that if any peeks come through, they're peeking on each other's contacts. But as it goes through, it's going to be Sobel as the last one left. And he's stuck between 2 players. And that's 4 rounds now up for the Danes. 4 in a row. And you're absolutely right. We saw that a lot on Train in the previous series. So many fakes coming out. And for Overpass, it's one of those maps that you can easily allow fakes to come through. And for PACT, well, they ended up putting 3 players over towards that bathrooms and A bomb side, and it wasn't the right call.
The eco to come through from PACT on the follow-up here means that the Rifles have worked wonderfully for the Vikings. The Eagles and CZ to Darko and Lunatic being in a mostly deco play. Look at Maniz though. They try for this aggression early on in their rifle round, and no one's going to check this. Oh, Cabby does. Shock of his life, he saw that CT popping out from the entrance, but getting the kill nonetheless. No damage done to the T's. Bit of a short aggression from Sobel. Could catch something off guard if he faces in at the right time. Darko next up here. Dealt with. 2 players left. CZ. Bomb dropped. And the orb just scope again. They're going to keep them suppressed for the moment here.
And Sobel's been doing a decent job to at least find a single pick, but they know exactly where he is. Molotov going out to short. They've seen him in the flash, in the molly, and, well, the AWP is going to be able to connect onto the last. 5 in a row are now up for the Vikings, and you've got to think for PACT, maybe go for a tactical. Maybe this is the point where they've started to lose control. Yes, you've got the AWP up for Maniz, but for PACT, they need to get in more control on these gun rounds. They need to find opening picks. That's been the biggest struggle at the moment, is when they find advantages, they're not holding on to them. And when they're not finding advantages, The T side are.
Oh, I like this. Here we go. Change of pace every time for the Vikings.
Don't
Think they'll get anything. Jump face. They're going to go aggressive. Oh, gets the kill. They've seen it. They've seen it come through now. They're going to continue pushing aggressive towards long and mid now. And Vikings, they do find the opening kill, but in terms of the map control, their options may be limited here.
It really might be, and that's why we're seeing some of this utility out to the B bomb site. They realize they can't really retake A, and these kills just coming in. This is now going to force PACT to potentially start to fall back and play quite deep into the sides. There's no way Moniz can stay aggressively, especially in a 3-on-5 like this. Man, not a lot of the time you see the pick actually coming out towards Monster. It's a lot of the time out towards Heaven or the boost at the boost position where they jump spot over. 5-on-3, Moniz falling back. This is going to be complete long control now going up for the T side. A's open.
It is. They're stacked in. Gamble stacked the B bomb site. The push coming in from Rolls. He still gets a kill on Lunatic as he falls back out of position. Smoke down, flash over. And Sobel and Moniz left to deal with this one man. He's going to get out of dodge, try and save his weapon. No, the AWP pick does come through, but now they know. Now they know that there's nothing else here. The info gained, the T's will storm A, Sobel with his M4 will push up. See the bomb plant open here. The last man standing needs a second kill. Dink down does not quite find it, so the Vikings will get themselves a 6. But that was needlessly reckless, I think. They could have planted into a much more passive position. They would have had the mid control. They should have known that there would have been a major sort of rotation coming in. 6-2 still goes on their board, and PACT forced down to a half-buy round again.
And yeah, look, certainly we see some reckless coming out from the Vikings time in, time out. But the way that I look at it is that I'm not even disappointed because the style of play at the moment is finding a lot of success. Yeah, look, sometimes they make a couple of questionable calls, but I wouldn't want them to change their style because they're very unique. You know, it's either very slow and very methodical, or it is quite fast, it's very in your face, then they slow it down. And for PACT, they've never really been able to get a hold of the pacing game at the moment, been able to read what's going on. It's back to the slow, methodical rounds. Good shot comes out from Sobel. Oh, he actually ends up getting 2. Oh. And the third with the Deagle. All get shut down, and it's just an eco round.
No one from Vikings could deal with him. They struggled, or they otherwise just had the apathy not to check connector. But finally, Twinks will take him down with a kill coming in from Rolls. Also on the long control means it will be a 3-on-2. But the Deagle has done its damage, and the Vikings could still look to concede this one. 55 seconds. They've got to try and find a different way to act. It's Twinks back over to the T-con position, being very careful about this. 45 to the clock, and he's got to join his teammate from here. They've got to find a way to work in the A bomb site. There's no way they can get to B from here. The aggression's too far gone here towards short. They're going to hear these footsteps. They'll grab a couple of rifles, so the CTs have a better stance to work with.
They can walk along. The thing is, though, Lunatic, he could shut this all down. It just comes off the back of the timing. Oh, he gets dinked down by the Glock out of all weapons. And now Twinks is just going to try and go quickly into this A bomb site. Lunatic, he's so damn low. He can't peek. He can't overextend here.
Twinks getting a bit overly aggressive. They does secure that bomb plant in the end. 3-on-2. They're coming out towards mid. He's burning. He gets out of dodge just in time. AWP watching Cross getting set and ready here. The flash goes over. He gets forced back. Good kill from Rolls. Swings in off the back of the response. The bait and switch to a 2-on-2 now. They see that bomb out in the open. The Glock there to deny the low HP player. Someone's on the bomb though. They've got a peek in. AK AWP tap through. Spray comes in from Rolls. And he gets his 2K as that was a good recovery there for the Vikings. But again, PACT was so little doing so much to the T-side line.
The scariest element in that round for me is not even the fact that they are able to get that many kills, but the fact that that eco probably looked like the most deadly round we've seen for them yet. And that's really scary because that should not be the case. When you have an eco round like that, you should be able to maybe get 2 or 3 kills, but the fact that they are looking the most dominant or on the rounds where they shouldn't is a very, very scary factor. This is 7 rounds in a row coming out for the Vikings, and it's honestly looking like this is their map pick.
Look, a tie pass, but denied here by Goofy. But with that sheer aggression, you can see how confidently he took his stance, about quickly he went for that face. And, you know, you're right about it. You know, it does feel like Vikings are just playing that confident sort of stance that it feels like it's their map pick. Cabby next to take a chance. B rounds this corner. No one is protecting Goofy from here. And I mean, I guess he's sort of protected by the fact that it's way too open for Cabby to take a face. But if they break that cycle, then there's a chance that, you know, in theory, you could potentially wipe out the entire mid defensive. Goofy gets Twinks and Maniz gets Cabby. M4 tries to spray back on towards one man. He does get taken out, leaving all to rolls. 1 on 4. He's got himself 1 frag. And now he's backed up a little bit. 3 players on the CT side, the bomb being dropped in mid-control as well, so Rolls is a task that I don't think he can achieve here.
Just doing damage is probably the best thing here. There's no money in the reserve. Unfortunately, the spray tries to connect onto Lunatic, but it will be a round up for the PACT side. It will be their 3rd. To stop the streak of 7 in a row, there's so much money, though. There is so much money out for the Vikings. And they'll be able to instantly get a response in. A great round coming out from PACT, dealing with the aggression with just passiveness. And we saw the swing coming out from Connector. They find that opening pick, and they just kept falling back. They played quite passive around the bathrooms and long position, and just waited for the T side to walk into their crosshairs. A fake.
Indeed, it is. Play onto the B-bomb site. 2 players still going to wait and bait here. Another player also graffiti, I believe. Yeah, it looks like Sobels could be in position to hold off on the rotation. M4 for Lunatic facing up. M4 trying to check down the corner. It's Darko on rolls, taking a frag for PACT. Damage done to Darko, though he's 15 HP, so susceptible to trade damage. Lunatic here, desperately looking for the player that crossed out to Sandbags, 1 minute and 10. And eventually they do find trades, but return back from Goofy onto Bird from Sky. 4 on 3. Typos surveying the flashbang, going to continue looking against Lunatic. Lunatic gets that kill, and now PACT starting to play with some confidence. They've got the bomb in their control. AK rounds the corner. Lunatic gets his double, and Twinks, last man left at the edge of the smoke, pushes forward, and Goofy takes the final frag of that one. And that looks so much better from PACT by comparison to their previous rounds. But how many responses have we seen come out from Vikings in the past for a few maps?
That was a great response, and what that came down to was just reading the game really well. We saw a triple man set up at that B bomb side. It was an A fake in terms of the utility, but once a little bit of utility was made at B and at least thrown out and shown as presence, they rotated Maniz out from A to have a 4-man stack at that B bomb side, and the crossfires were being set. They locked it all down. The boost is coming out again for the AWP. Twinks was successful in the last time he tried it. Oh! That was a pixel shot. That was tough, but look at the aggression. We saw that in the last round. Maniz is now taking complete fountain control.
The Vikings were able to work with this, though. I mean, like, they were able to overwhelm them and just pick them apart as the aggression just kind of got too much for PACT. AK for Lunatic back behind the woods. Stack spray through, gets Bird from Sky. That's the way in. Incendiary back. Nades up to come through, damage being done. Smoke continues to hold off against the T side. And the Vikings are just suppressed. They're just so suppressed right now, in a way that they weren't suppressed before.
It's just the counter utility has come out at a really nice position, and the timing has been working out nicely. The spam just coming through from Darko, tapping away through the monster smoke, and this round's pretty much over. I just don't see there being a way back in for the LYNGBY Vikings. It's just so difficult. We've seen them bring back 3-on-5s in the past, but considering the map presence, considering the position they're in, there's just no chance here, and an easy cleanup coming out. How many AKs have they got? They've got 3 on the CT side and that AWP, so they're going to have some really great buys going forward, especially now that they've been able to build up the bank.
Speaking of bank, you can build some bank over at our case partners in Hellcase. Use Malta V and Malta V15 for some free money and 15% refill bonuses. Open some cases and get some sick skins, unlike the one that Maniz currently has on his knife. So, the PACT side getting themselves 5 rounds, and I feel like the Vikings just stalled a little bit here. They've gone for sort of basic and passive and suppressed defaults, whereas before they were getting hyper aggressive, they were getting really creative with their default aggressive plays, and I just don't feel like we've seen that from them in the past 3 rounds or so.
It's like they've hit a brick wall. We're certainly struggling to find a lot on the executions, and yeah, make a really good point. And maybe going back to some of these aggressive plays out towards bathrooms is at least what they're going to try and do going into round 13. But it's not quite the rifle round. It's only a couple of AKs, a couple of upgrades, I should say. They saw the Galil upgrade coming out to a single player, and this is looking to be a pretty easy cleanup. And Cabby's going to be able to find one, but no more than that. So not a massive amount of damage being done. I'm surprised Bird from Sky invested so heavily in that last round. And he's probably going to be on a Galil or a Mac 10 for it. So yeah, not even an AK.
Economy has been ruined here for the Vikings, but they do have a rifle buy regardless. Within one of the lead now for PACT. Bomb being dropped out as Twinks moves in. The bomb being incendiary, I should say, going out to this park position, and Twinks not allowed to face forward. 84 points of HP. As Rolls gets Darko and doubles up. Big Freya's coming into this mid position. Groovy's going to hit some players out towards the short area, though. Takes out his second kill to a 3-on-3. As Sobel found the opener. Suddenly, the Vikings, with their main advantage, going to get slapped back to square one.
How? They passed each other. And that's the bomb dropped. How has this happened? But now Maniz gets caught off guard. What is going on? How did they just pass each other?
No idea, but it works better for PACT in the end as they get that 1-on-2 advantage, a man advantage. Twinks does have the B site control though, and he will move forward. The Glock, the AWP, also going to make his way out. Doesn't see anything towards short. He knows that that short control could be contested by Sobel. He makes no noise if he puts nothing out to the site, with the exception maybe even incendiary. Even then, he's going to check out all the positions and see nothing. If he extends towards connector, though... Okay, no. I thought Sobel was watching the angle. It's a bit hard to tell from the minimap. 35 seconds, and he just needs to get this plant in. Where does he go for it? Default open positions. They should now know this is going to be a B-site play. Scopes in. Twinks will fall back out. Expect some heaven control, but got to look towards short most in particular. So, ball! Oh, what a shot! Okay! Twinks back in with a chance. 2K to his name, 3K for the player that clutched his 1-versus-1! Oh, he doesn't land it. Goofy gets the AK spray instead, gets the defuse for PACT, and gets us to evens on the CT board.
Oh, that was a hard flick. That was so damn fast, and he was inches off. He was so damn close to finding that 1-on-2. But PACT have brought this back. We've seen a bit of a late comeback from them. It's been 5 rounds in a row. They're able to tie up the scoreline. And it certainly seems like all this momentum that the LYNGBY Vikings had has kind of disappeared in recent times. We've seen Rouse and Twinks in particular putting up some huge individual performances. But for most of the team, it seems like quietness over these last few rounds.
Bob looking into that T-spawn area, T-composition, hoping to catch off somebody, but nothing's going to be seen. Look at the Vikings, straight up and out. Galil here against Goofy. First player out with his AK up close for the CT side, and one of the only one-shot headshot weapons they got here. Spray through, taking face, taking damage as well, as the wide face from the Vikings is going to catch this man off guard here. For round 15, they've gained a bit of a HP advantage, but again, no early kills coming on these defaults here. The boost here from Rolls might provide that, but he lands. They now know that's there. They can't come out. They can't bring it out here for the Vikings.
Cabby, does he check the angle towards his left? He doesn't, but in fact, he takes down Maniz. So a man advantage being found from the T side around this A bomb site. I'm still wondering about Goofy. He's quite low at 39 points of health, but no one has checked it yet. It's a very difficult angle to pre-aim.
45 seconds. Time is a ticking. Goofy keeping his hands on with the AK. Cabby and Typos falling back. Away from the mid face. The Vikings have the man advantage. Can they keep it against Goofy in particular into this corner? Sobel on the A bomb site, looking like they want an A commitment. They're going to go for it here. Smokes on, Molotov's out. It's going to rest on Goofy to try and hold the first kill. Darko gets Rolls instead. Onto the 4-on-4 to spray through as they bait out the AK to fire. 10 seconds left for the M4 Slowball though, and he's red towards the side of that smoke. The bomb plant will be received, and Darko and Lunatic in a 2v4, now a 1v4 retake. Not going to happen for them. Vikings will claim their 8th and claim the half here on T side. A big half from them as well. They didn't choose CT side, PACT chose CT side. And the Vikings just looked so confident throughout the course of this half. Yes, they had that little hiccup there in round 10 through 14. But other than that, the confidence on show for that main stretch of 7 rounds that they had from rounds 3 through 9. Beautiful stuff being shown by the LYNGBY squad.
And you even take into consideration how close both, maybe not the pistol round was, but that second round force buy with the MAC-10s, we saw a lot of great stuff coming out from the Danes, and they put up a really good half. They're able to take the lead going forward, and you've got to think, you know, going on to CT side, if they can get off to a good start, they can win out this pistol round, get some momentum going. They're looking really great at the moment, and will LYNGBY think they are looking very great. 1.58 for the odds of the Vikings to take this map and to go 2-0 up in the series. If you do want to get involved in those odds, you can check out their links below, the Twitch channel below. But jumping into the pistol round, it's quick and it's fast and it's through connector.
And it's Darko to open things up. Not quite the second kill. Cabby will trade it. Twinks is also there. Drop the bomb and drop a second head as well. 3-on-2, looking for a bit more, but is forced to fall even further back. Needs backer as well. It's coming in from Bank. The incendiary's out, and Typos is there to cut off Goofy. They weren't expecting that. It's all left to Sobel, the last man standing for the T side. The Glock back here past the flower pot. But 3 to deal with. He does have the bomb on his back, so he has options to rotate to B. But regardless of how he takes this face, he's going to have a challenge to deal with the CTs they have here. Jump facing through that window. And from there, the info has been gained by the CT side. Round the corner, headshot comes in, but Twinks gets 3 kills and a pistol to the favor of the LYNGBY Vikings.
They can be happy they won that pistol round, but what they can be even more happy about, the fact that they didn't let that bomb plant go down and allow an opportunity for PACT to reinvest a force buy into the following round. What a shutdown coming out, and things looked pretty good out of the gate. It was fast, it was aggressive. They swung out from that party stairs and connector. They won out some great opening duels, but Twinks, he answers back. They go quite passive into that A bomb site. And it's just going to be a couple of upgrades, Glocks, and maybe a couple of P250s, the nades! Oh, it's a chunk of damage.
It's a start for the CT side to continue on against them here. The M4 ready for the face up. And Mani's looking the wrong way at the wrong time. Darko might isolate a pick back. No, Cabby's got that second kill. Smoke up with 15 HP though. He somehow gets away with Lunatic, so that's impressive. But eventually he was going to get overwhelmed with those pistols in the end. It's the 4-on-2 though that PACT really need to be worried about. Have got the long control potential into the A-bomb site. I mean, they could walk out there right now. I mean, if they go slow, I mean, the CTs are going to push mid, so they'll leave long completely undefended. So a plant is actually kind of likely here. Surprisingly more likely than most people would think.
Certainly, and if they can plant towards that bank position, it would make it so much easier. But for the Vikings, they're lacking information at the moment, so they've actually pushed quite aggressively around bathrooms and the banana-ish position to get into a connector, but they haven't really checked out long, and Bird from Sky still hasn't seen anything. Don't tell me he's going to rotate off A.
He's falling out position.
You're kidding.
Yeah, he's not even facing from bank. Bird from Sky will eventually make his way back in as he hears the utility coming through. Will they check it? Can they take him down? Is this open? It is, and that's the SMG frag, so not to be in the end. The SMGs will clean up those last couple of frags, grab that M4 once again, and the Vikings will get to 10. So it could have been a bit more of an awkward stance there from the CT side.
It certainly looked a bit awkward for a moment there, but Bird from Sky rotating up from bank, denying that bomb from going down, keeping all of the MP9s in play, not upgrading any of them, so a big bonus round coming through for the Vikings. AKs across the board now. With a lack of bomb plants, there won't be that AWP potential to come out for Minis. Will we see the aggression continue from the Vikings? That's what I'm really considering on this City side. And it seems like, yes, we will. Look how fast they are in through the short pipe.
2 for 1 for the CTs, and the PACT side do manage to trade it back, but Cabby keeps man advantage control out here in Connector. AK recovery barely escapes Darko's grasp and falls back to the B bomb site, so there's a rotation line for them to work with. The A bomb site is where they could go, and the push coming through from Bird from Sky, he's going to get a ton of info out here. They know that they're short control, the footsteps being heard here by Meniz. Will Twinks take him down? The SMG behind the rock is going to play away. Bait and switch spray through, take him down, secure the bomb. And a 1-on-3 now for Darko. This has been such a good round here from the Vikings. They're not ready for the bathroom's face. Twinks will turn around for it, though. The headshot still comes through for the last man of the T side. So damage being done, but those were just SMGs that probably going to get upgraded anyway. Picking up this bomb, I wonder if he can make his way to the A site and at least get a plant from here.
He's actually going to try and go to B, but he's going to get at least halted for just a little bit amount of time from Bird from Sky. Oh my goodness, this is now one-on-one. He's got the options here. He can either go to B, he can go to A, he could try and fake it out. He's got a bit of utility. As soon as he opens up that connector door, they'll know it's a B play.
And carry that only lone man left here. Is he coming from heaven, I think? May well be. Smoke and flash on. He gets out of dodge instead. Plant to be secured. Nade is not going to be put out here. If he put that on default, though, that would have done a number on Darko. Eventually, he does land for 45. And the spray comes in from Darko, but the headshot comes in from Cabby. 11 on the board for Vikings. And PACT just can't catch a break here in the second half.
Now, put that 1 versus 3 aside. How many times have we seen Cabby clutch? He seems like, no matter what the situation, if ever there's an opportunity where he's alone or he's with a teammate, and it's like it's clutch time, you want him alive because he always seems to deliver the goods. And for a youngster, you know, only 22 years old, he's very calm in clutch scenarios. He's very sharp. He's very strong. He reads it incredibly well, outplays his opponents a lot of the times in terms of repositioning. What a round to win. 11-7 up for the Danes. Only 5 rounds away from making it into the playoffs.
The Vikings here hurting on the money basis, but so are PACT. Both teams investing into rifles, but all in all, the buy looks better for the Vikings here. AK on Cabby, AWP for Twinks, M4s on 3 players. And I'm just still stunned a little bit by the idea that the Vikings are going to be the ones making it into the playoffs. This team came last place in weeks 2 and 3. Back-to-back last place group stage finishes. And now a chance to make it into the top 8. Lunatic, Galil out, spray through, takes Typos, kicks things off for the T-side as PACT try and deny that reality.
This is a great start coming out from the Polish side, but one thing they haven't taken into account is the stack at the moment at this B bomb site. Looks like even with finding the opening kill over at B, they want to start to move their position up to this A bomb site. They are really running down the clock here. This could get very scary. 30 seconds left. They're walking to this A bomb site. This is going to be a very, very close round. It needs to come off the back of them getting entries.
A big miss from the AWP. That might open up a chance here for PACT to enter onto A, and indeed, Cabby will fall. The hero of that last round, the casualty of the next. And the CTs are falling back for it. They can't really afford to lose these weapons. The economy was hurting going into this one. No loss bonus to fall back on. This will be 8 for PACT. They try and hold contention on T side.
Unfortunately, that's a missed shot that for Twinks he can't miss. That's a shot that he would normally do so. A bit of an uncharacteristic missed shot, but as soon as he misses that, they go right. We're out of there. You know, like you said, they've got no loss bonus at the moment. With 3 players staying alive, they can certainly drop some weapons. Cabby can by himself. Maybe Rouse is able to drop over a FAMAS over to Typo. So they will be able to get the buy back in. They can even go double orbs if they want to. I mean, that would be a very risky play, but certainly one that could potentially work.
Investment coming through for the Vikings. The MP9 for Bird from Sky. Obviously, it's still going to be a bit of a harsh order buy. This smoker, where does that land actually? Out of Tikon, I believe?
Yeah, so it bounces off the skybox to Tikon to deny any of the early Molotov for the city side getting aggressive.
I see. That makes sense. Okay. Well, Lunatic will get Twinks to start things off here on the aggressive short face, and it feels like whenever the Vikings get aggressive is where PACT can take control. Roll's going to try continue facing forward here. The M4 not seeing Lunatic, seeing the squeak door open, but unable to get any info on individual players, let alone getting a pick for the CT side.
Oh, great nade up onto Rouse, taking him down to just 61 points of health, and this is a great opening pick coming out from the PACT side. They take down Twinks. And you've got to think for the Vikings, they might even start to get aggressive, see if they can counter this opening fight, see if they can bring it back into a 4-on-4, and maybe just out from short, the aggression might come through. They're pushing long, at least for Cabby, and having a 3-man stack at this B bomb site.
45 seconds. Typos backed up, Bird from Sky pushing in, PACT's turned. Wait a minute, how's he gonna work this one? No, Goofy's gonna check it. M4 Typos still there, and Goofy doubles up. 2 players standing for the CT cap, and now PACT are rolling here on T side. Cabby left alone to save his weapon. He might take Goofy, doesn't even get the kill on the man. 27 HP, he's so low. Flashes and smoke, got to try protecting the nade. Will not take him down. He was right there. 10 HP. He's so like a breath away from death. But alas, Cabby just can't get away with it. All 5 alive for PACT. And the Vikings continue to struggle here on CT side.
This is finally PACT taking control. Now, you look at the scoreline, you think, okay, you know, surely they must have taken control a little bit earlier on, considering how close it is. Yeah, they had that streak of 5 rounds towards the back end of that first half, but this is the first time that I've properly been convinced that PACT are in control. 2 back-to-back rounds looking very convincing. And the lead starting to not be a lead for too much longer. It's a deficit of 2 rounds for the Polish side. And we are seeing this triple boost set up around the graffiti position, but look at the pistols they've got. They've got 5 USPs. They can't really expect to find much out of this.
Surprised they didn't go for a force buy and suddenly turn the map point, but you know, whatever. It makes sense. 2 rounds lost bonus. USP standing by, and Luna... Oh, no, they couldn't get the kill. They couldn't get it. Stack in, but they will hear those drops. They should be able to realize that there was some sort of stack or some sort of jungle play coming in from the CT camp. Spray in from Royals goes falling. Lunatic gets himself 2 kills. 2 more up here for the spray down. Eventually falls to the hands of Cabby, but he's the last man standing here. The spray through for Sobel gets that secondary kill. So 10 to the board of PACT. 1 in the lead for the Vikings. And now the buy has got to come through from the CTs. They are within 1 of closing the lead now.
I'm surprised they bought this, actually. They had the opportunity of just half buying again to make sure they get M4s across the board, the AWP up, but buying in round 22 means that it's not the best of buys in the world. Yes, they've got a couple of kits, which is decent, but it's 2 for masses. It's not a massive amount of utility up for both Cabby and Twinks. It's a not a high-risk round, but certainly a medium risk, to say the least, rather than just opting to half-bind for the next. And they've got to be thinking at the same time, they don't want to give too much momentum up to the PACT side. They want to be able to get an answer, and they probably need a response relatively soon.
Given the current circumstances here, the fact that PACT are on a bit of a hype train, 3 rounds in a row. Great way to shut this down and continue control for the Vikings would of course be to get this round or one of the following ones soon. You mentioned some response has got to come through from this CT side, and right now the nade stack rolls on 4 HP. That is not a good sign. Molotov towards back and Toxic Bird from Sky holding. Typos drops the bomb and a second kill. Raw's going to get detected here by the nade. Meniz takes him down as Bird from Sky gets a kill. Lunatic's going to play right behind him. The Bird from Sky doesn't check it, and Meniz gets Typos next outside a monster. 2-on-2. Twinks gets Lunatic. Meniz, all that remains in a 1-on-2 clutch, seeing the shoulder baits, but not able to evade the headshot. Cabby gets the frag, closes the round for the Vikings.
Well, that was chaos. That was absolute chaos there coming out from PACT. They nade stack on towards the monster wall. They do a great amount of damage onto Rouse, but they split into the B bomb site while Monster's still smoked. And from there, the FAMAS just cleans up house. The T side don't really know which way they're looking at the right time. Do they want to check the site? Do they want to check Monster? Because a couple of players went down. And that was, you know, very chaotic. It just seemed like once they pushed through that monster smoke and they lost a couple of players, they didn't know what they wanted to achieve.
Side set here to the long control. The bomb passed off to Lunatic. Jump facing as PACT. Look towards what seems to be an A play here. Vikings have only 2 to defend against it. This jump face from Twinks. He tried this over on the truck position, looking through that window. Falls back out from APC into the central bomb site defensive. Smoke's coming in, looking like a very early execution coming in from these guys, actually. This could get real interesting real quick. Lunatic first out with the bomb, does not see the man. This is a perfect chance to deny the bomb plant. Goofy getting Twinks, though. He reads it, Sobel finds one. Bird from Sky finds a good pick back on the trade, forces that bomb planter off position. And now they're going to rapidly get close to him. He gets the second kill, 3-on-3 situation. Damage done to Darko as well, to a 3-on-2. So plant on truck now, PACT at the man advantage.
And PACT have got a lot of control at the moment in terms of this post plant, locking out the CTs rather than them just trying to fight. Flash coming in. Typos is so blind. He's just being forced back, and they're just trying to play the time at this point. A single kit up for the CTs. Now, they have been able to clear out a bit of the site, but they don't have any information out towards that truck and the bathroom's position, and this is pretty much all but over. This should be an 11th round up for the PACT side. Rels is going to be able to take Goofy down, but at 4 HP, he's out of there.
Yeah, he's done. Got to hold on to his weapon. Got to hold on to something going in for this CT side because they are running out of rounds. Their money line is crippled. It's just decimated here. With the win coming through in that last one, it puts them in even worse stead compared to their previous buy. I mean, the loss bonus gets knocked back a peg, and they couldn't do the one thing they had to do after winning a rifle round. It is follow up. And that lack of a follow-up will probably just set things up.
We've spoken about it.
Called by LYNGBY Vikings here. They need it at this stage.
They do, because one thing that we've certainly mentioned across all of the games that we've seen on the A stream is that, you know, teams have struggled to be able to follow up rounds, and it was certainly something that PACT struggled with in the opening best of one. They struggled with it on Vertigo, but now it seems like it's actually the Vikings that are struggling to be consistent in this second half. We've seen a couple of good rounds here or there, and they got off to a good start after winning the pistol, but really all the momentum, all the control's been going the way of the Polish side, and we really should be tied up. There is no way that this round should be going the way of the CT side, considering the fact they've got a single AK saved in and just USPs to back it up.
I'm going to go fast here. It looked like they were going to set themselves up for a very fast B-side play. So Rolls actually boosted up to find the first kill on Lunatic. All right. Good opener for the Vikings. Typos pushed up too aggressive though. Sobel right at the corner will take him right down. 4-on-4 situation. Goofy Meniz, 2 more kills. So this round going about as well as you would expect it here for the CT side as Sobel gets Rolls next. Bird from Sky's got to grab that AK and save it. As PACT will equalize against the LYNGBY Vikings. And where is this team gone? They were looking so confident on the T side. But here, they're a shadow of what they previously looked like here.
Oh, I'm not sure if it's a matter of fatigue or what. I mean, you've got to understand that both these teams have got the very similar circumstances. They've played long best of threes to get into this spot. It's now getting close to sort of 2 a.m. for both Poland and Denmark at the moment. But you can't really use that as an excuse. We're only halfway through what could be this best of three. Still potential of going into a third map and nuke. And the Vikings, they need to dig deep because they've certainly struggled in the last few rounds. They've lost a lot of momentum. They've lost the answer, I would say, to a lot of these rounds.
On the pass position. And Nades going out towards that B bomb site. They're really trying to stack in and do some damage to the Vikings. Nothing will be seen here in terms of the damage. Very little done across the board with information gathering for the CT&T sides. And PACT much more passive than any of their previous rounds so far on T.
And slowing it right down and maybe playing a little bit of mind games at the moment. See if they can get the Vikings to overextend. Because you've got to think desperation's now a big element, I would say, on the CT setups for the Vikings to make sure that they're converting this 25th and putting up a 13th. Very slow, very passive, taking the short control, now starting to work their way into the bathrooms and banana area. 3 players here for the Vikings as they rotate a third player up from B.
Cabby, what? Walked right past here. Darko adjusts against him, taking out Twinks as well. It's all left to Bird from Sky. Backup is on the way, but the FAMA's got to hold on. Typos goes down next. Bird from Sky tries to hold on, but he's not bound for this world. Neither is Soyable, but Rolls is not bound for this retake. 1 on 3 for the man. He'll look for exit frags, but PACT are going to take the lead away here on overpass.
I think the Danes are done. I can just see that they've been locked out. We're seeing some really great confidence coming out from PACT. They're playing really well. Even just some of the entries, looking at the crossfires being set, the way that they're checking all their angles in executing to that A bomb site in the last round. You look at the scoreboard and you think 13 to 12. There's no money for another rebuy investment. It's going to be a 14th up. I just don't see there being a way for the LYNGBY Vikings to come back. It's too difficult now. They've given up too many rounds. They've given up too much momentum. And for PACT, they're on a hot streak at the moment and they're not giving up.
The fatigue has started setting in. Whether or not they're just mentally checked out of this one. The flashbang from Bird from Sky is the only thing they've got to work with here in this round. Stack up towards Long, might catch Darko off guard, but as soon as he peeks and gets taken down, they'll have all the info they need to push the bomb into the B-bomb site. This is a round that the Vikings should not be able to win. Flashes do go over, and Meniz might get overwhelmed. Darko gets himself 2 kills actually. Meniz gets himself 3 frags. And that will be 14 to 12 now. PACT dangerously close to winning this map. The Vikings to try and pull themselves together to pull this back and win it in 2. Now it's PACT to put them in very dangerous territory for our final map of the series.
And you've got to think, they just need some sort of answer, and it might come off the back of this secondary off. One thing that I was thinking about is you need someone like Cabby to clutch out, have a big round. They just need one individual to have a big moment, and I think that might kickstart this comeback back in. They've gone for the double ups. We haven't seen this at all on overpass for either side. Let's see if it works out, because it's the boost for the T side. Now the CTs can start getting aggressive. Oh, the train! The train blocks the bullet, Jay!
I can't believe that!
Why is the train in overpass? Just remove it! What's going on?
Oh, the timing of that couldn't be worse. The AWP from Bird from Sky at least gets a kill for the Vikings. It is returned back by Meniz as he finds his own AWP kill. The M4 of Cabby standing by here. Face out Rawls going to get goofy in from Connector is where the second face may have to come through. Lunatic trying to fight his way out from shore. The aggression to the CT side, and he's going to move out position as well. Flash in, AK close. M4 gets taken back, so 1-for-1 trades go in the way of nobody. 3 versus 3. And Nades up the AWP. Typos Only thing left here, picking up his second AWP from Bird from Sky's body, seeing if we can hold off against it. Now he's got the AWP backing him up from Heaven and Twinks. 3-on-3 situation. Pat's considering a rotation, but with the bomb out to Monster, they might have to commit to this.
This has to be Lunatic, maybe just a lurk or some sort of fake at this A bomb site just to see if he can draw some attention over. But it is going to be the B play. And, well, for the City side, they're not moving at all. They're still committed to keeping 2 players here at B.
AWP standing, ready to roll. Scope out, good shot. Lunatic to fall. Big frag to find. With Twinks adjusting against Miniz. Last man standing, shoulder bait beats up the shot, but Typos swings the left-hand side. And the Vikings do get themselves a 13th. Do they get them back into this game, though? Their main concern on CT side was getting the control. And you can watch this shot. That could have been round right there. Oh, Miniz. He is going to be well pissed at that.
I'm sure there's like a Twitter account out there I've seen that's called like remove the train on overpass and just makes like daily posts about removing the train. That's ridiculous. I can't believe that's happened.
Someone at Don Hassey with that one. I believe that's his account.
God, that's just so dumb. Like, that's so stupid that the train blocks a bullet like that. And that's a hope now coming out for the Vikings, especially with the fact that they find the opening kill going into round 28.
I can't. To think that that possibly could have tilted them out to the point where actually LYNGBY Vikings are going to be able to, you know, utilize that missed shot to turn a comeback to their favor. They found the first pick here in the follow-up round. The AWP of Lunatic will start to make its way in alongside Sobel. A 5-on-4 situation. The CT's in control at this moment. A minute to go. PACT gonna lose a little bit of HP on the next man. The nade up, however, should drop Lunatic. No, he backs off just in time to save his life.
And getting closer to 50 seconds now, and they've pretty much got a really great read for the Vikings that it has to be a B play. They've seen the information, they've got the tag off, they even heard the utility. Triple setup here. The AWP from Bird from Sky needs to be able to land this connection onto the short player.
On flashes over and Darko takes out. Bird from Sky rolls, finds a spray. Damage being done to the entire T-side line. Goofy aggress rolls, trades him. Bomb left on Darko, 1-on-3. Gotta get this player out immediately. And rolls won't even give him the time of day. 4 kills to his name, 14 for LYNGBY Vikings, and they are back in the game.
They're back. It's taken them a bit of time, but they are back. And, well, they needed a little bit of momentum. They've now got 2 rounds in a row, and you could see that they're starting to really bring this back. They're feeling it. Those last couple of rounds, very convincing. The AWPs are finding a world of an amount of kills at the moment. 14-14. We've seen so many close scorelines so far today. The Vikings tying us up here. Oh, man. The double AWPs. What a time to bring it out. As soon as they bring it out, they find instant success.
Will it be enough to turn success to the match point? To the match victory, most importantly for the Vikings. And again, what a upset it would be. Not quite as good as Illumina, but just the performance from the Vikings today to compound into a playoff spot here in Malta Vibes in 2 maps. That would be so sweet for this CT camp.
Going to be difficult, especially with this boost coming up. And don't tell me they're going to read this. Miniz, he's got such a perfect angle, but the timing actually falls back and doesn't continue the hold. Oh, Miniz got seen. His leg got seen.
Twinks not going to take that second face in until you see the smoke go down to cover him off. It misses. That might concede a lot of map control. Goofy will get rolls first here in connector. Darko finds Twinks, 5-on-3. Cabby towards Cubby. Takes out 1. Sees Lunatic facing up with the bomb. Stalling crucial time, but couldn't find the 3rd pick. Typos waiting. Bird from Sky, knowing where he needs to be. Opt across, gets that kill. 2-on-2. They're rotating back to the B bomb site because now Sobel's pushed in. This could still be a chance for PACT to close it.
And there's no way they can expect Sobel to already be this far pressed up. Bird from Sky's probably not going to check this angle at all. And this should be an easy kill coming through to the T side. And there it is. Type Boss, last one left, 1 versus 2. Now he knows that that bomb's been planted, so someone has to be on towards the side. And he knows the player's out for graffiti, but he's trying to see if he can turn it into a one-on-one, and he's able to.
He needs to get this next shot in against Goofy. Rounds the corner, sees the shoulder and gets the headshot. Typos gonna keep LYNGBY Vikings in it. 15-14. Map, match, and qualification point for the Danes. PACT have got to go to another overtime to survive.
Oh my goodness, what a clutch coming out from Typos. And you've got to think there for PACT, you know, why aren't they peeking on each other's contact? Why were they able to give up one-on-one duels like that? And Typos, he can't believe that he's been able to at least isolate them going into what could be the last round. What's going on here? Now PACT are favourites?
What do you have to do to get the odds in the Vikings' favour? I'm pretty sure that's a bug. There's no way. There's no way that that's the money line for a match point Viking squad. Orbs in, doubles up from Bird from Sky and Twinks. Trying to face out here, seeing the flashbangs come through. Bird from Sky completely blind, but so are the T-side players. M4 of Riles can get one good pick. Another M4 out towards Ramp here. Moniz will trade back on Typos as the Orb gets a kill. Still close here on the pillar. 4 versus 3, making it 2. Sobel finds one, Goofy finds another. Bird from Sky gets a no-scope. 3 picks for him. Sobel, all that remains for PACT now. 1 on 2. He's got a minute to the clock. He's making his way back to the A bombs like the siege. He's been distracted, but one's on his way back in. It's one of the Orbs. Both of the Orbs left to defend, but Bird from Sky switches out to an AK, and Twinks has the angle locked, the cross locked against Sobel. Ready to face, ready to fire, ready to take this victory, and the